Hey, loved ones. I want to talk about why I'm here on earth. Why did I incarnate into this body to do what? Well, first of all, there was a paradise that was lost, and I'm here to make sure that it is regained. I've come with great power to make sure that that happens. I'm also a great healer. I come to heal mankind back to the point to where they can live forever. And I've got the power to do that. And so I'm trying to raise our frequencies from a 3D uh, uh, vibration to a 5D vibration. The thing about the 3D is that you grow old and you die here in the 3D frequency. It's just not going fast enough for us to regenerate ourselves. But in the 5D, nobody dies. There's no such thing. We don't do that. And so that's what I'm here to do, to raise our frequency enough so that we can go into the 5D. Now, also, I come to do battle. I've said once before that I come to dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. The motherfucker's mad because I came kind of tight. Well, I did, and this battle has been going on for some time now. Okay, and I'm getting kind of tired of it. I'm ready to recreate this new heavens and the new earth that we're trying to do here, and the fight with these what I call these clowns. Basically the governments of the world. These evil flying monkeys, these covens and Masonics and what do you call Masons and whatnot. Well, I'm tired of it. They can't do nothing with me, and I'm kind of tired of it. And I'm really ready to get going onto this new adventure. Okay, so spirits tell me to be nice. Don't talk real bad about my enemies. These monkeys, these clowns. It's funny because I remember back in the day when Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box had a they had the clown that was in this box. And when you roll up, it would pop out of the box, and it would have the head wiggling around on this spring thing, and I take your order, please. Well, I always wanted to clobber that clown back into the box, and so I don't want to see the thing. I don't know, I don't like clowns. But anyway, this with these cats reminds me of, and I want to get them in their boxes. We can't continue to do what I wanted to do in this new paradise. They can't. They gotta get in the boxes. These monkeys and flying monkeys and whatnot. Man, they gotta go. We can't continue with that. So I can't be nice, and I call them how they are. Just flying monkeys and idiot clowns and whatnot. Yeah, I'm from the hood. I grew up from the hood, and Southside Chicago with nothing but gangs and violence and whatnot, and I came from there to South Central LA, and another Crips and Bloods and all that stuff. I never was a part of any of that, but I grew up in that environment, the whole gangster environment. So I guess you can say that I'm a spiritual gangster, and I don't mind saying that because me and my higher self, God, the Creator, we're a cold duo. And what we come to do is bring judgment to this earth. He's working the higher end, and I'm working the lower end, and we're in perfect alignment with each other as to what we're trying to do and how we're going to accomplish the things we're going to accomplish. Okay. So being a spiritual gangster, man, I got a gang. They led by me and Daddy-O, which is what I call my higher self, because he sees more than what I can see, and what I don't see, he makes sure I do see. Nevertheless, then we got the 144,000 G unit. This is our gang. You know what I'm saying? And we're about to roll on some enemies that they're not gonna like what's going on. How is it gonna happen? They're not gonna be happy about that at all. So there's a end game, that it must come to, and we're getting to the end game of this thing, this battling, and all this stuff that we're going on. Because I have stepped fully into my God power, and I'm telling you, I'm right there at the threshold, with the door open, standing on the threshold, ready to step down into my purpose. And I'm just waiting for Daddy-O to say, "Okay, go." Let's get the movement going and make this thing start cracking. So that's what I'm waiting for, and won't be long before that goes down. So I want to talk about what the Bible's got to say about that. I talk about the spiritual gains, but there's another way that the Bible explains exactly what I've been doing, exactly what I've been talking about in a better way than the way I've been explaining about the monkeys and the clowns and all that stuff, right? And that's got to do with Revelations 18 through 21. Okay, so I'm going to share that with you. Let me see here. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. This is a comprehensive breakdown of the core scriptures, themes, and narratives shifts across Revelations. That's 18 through 21. Okay, so this sequence moves from the dramatic downfall of a corrupt global system to the ultimate creation of a new peaceful reality. So now, Revelations 18, the fall of Babylon. This chapter reads like a tragic lament. It describes the complete economic and moral collapse of Babylon the Great, which represents a corrupt world system driven by the materialism and arrogance of an exploitation. The announcement of doom. This is verses 1 through 3. A powerful angel illuminated the earth, declaring that Babylon has become a wasteland and a haunt of every unclean spirit. So now, verses 4 through 5 is the warning to escape this calamity. It says, a voice from heaven warns God's people to distance themselves from her. Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive any of her plagues. Now, the lament of the merchants, this is verses 9 through 19. Kings, merchants, and sea captains weep because their massive source of wealth is gone in an instant. Verses 13 specifically highlights the cruelty of her trade, ending with and bodies and souls of the human beings. Finally, verses 21, a mighty angel hurls a boulder like a large milestone into the sea, symbolizing that Babylon will sink and never be found again. Revelation 19, talks about the heavenly wedding and the warrior. That's me. We about to do some warring. Okay, so now the tone completely shifts here from mourning on earth to ecstatic celebration in heavens, introducing the final victory of evil. Yeah, see, now we're getting to the good part. See, the Hallelujah chorus, this is verses 1 through 6, it says, the great crowds in heaven roar with praises. Hallelujah, hallelujah, because justice has been served to the corrupt system. You see. So now the wedding, this is part of here, is the wedding of the Lamb. Okay, that's verses 7 through 9. The focus shifts to a grand celebration. So the bride, the church, believers, has made herself ready, dressed in fine linen, which represents righteous deeds. The rider on the white horse. This is verses 11 through 16. Heavens open to reveal Jesus returning not as a humble servant, but as a conquering warrior named Faithful and True. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. Eyes like blazing fire, wearing many crowns and a robe dripped in blood. On the robe and thigh, the title is written King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Yeah. Defeat of the beast. This is verses 17 through 21. Defeat of the beast. Okay, the armies of the earth gather to make war against the rider. But the beast and the false prophet are instantly captured and thrown into the fiery lake of burning sulfur. Okay, okay. Now, Revelation 20, the millennium and the final judgment. Okay, and this chapter introduces a temporary period of peace followed by the absolute final sorting of humanity's history. You see, the 1,000 years. This is verses 1 through 3. Satan is bound with a heavy chain and locked in the abyss for 1,000 years, so that he can no longer deceive the nations during this period. The first resurrection, verses 4 through 6, talks about those who were martyred for their faith come to life and reign alongside Christ for the millennium. Now, guys, this is my ancestors, and you've heard me talk about how much I love my ancestors and the things that I carry so that they can continue, to do what they were fated to do, and all the things that was taken from them. Well, we're getting that back so that they can continue on what they're doing. So now, verses 7 through 10 talks about the final defeat of Satan. After the 1,000 years, Satan is released for a brief time to rally a final rebellion. Fire comes down from heaven and to consume his armies, and he is permanently thrown into the lake of fire. That's what I'm talking about. Now, this is the great white throne judgment, okay, which is verses 11 through 15. It says, the dead, great and small, stand before God. Earth, sky, flee from his presence. Books are opened, including the book of life. And anyone whose name is not found written in the book of life is thrown into the lake of fire, alongside death and Hades. Yeah. So now we come down to Revelation 21, which is a new heavens and a new earth. And this is what I've been talking about ever since I've been posting stuff, written, video, whatever it is. Man, I've always talked about a new heavens and a new earth, and this is something that was foretold some time ago. And this is, and see, the beauty of this is that it's actually happening in real time. This is not something that we're hoping going to happen, or maybe next year. But man, this year, okay, we got this thing going now. This is in real time, so that's what makes this so unique and so beautiful, that we're not just reading scriptures of something that's going to happen. So we're talking about right now. It's in motion. Don't get it twisted. Okay, so now, with a new heavens and a new earth, with evil completely erased, the book finishes with a breathtaking vision of restoration and physical perfection. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. Physical perfection. We got that going. You got that coming. Okay, and all things new. Verses 1 through 4 says, the old universe passes away, and a new heaven and earth replaced it. There is no more sea, a biblical symbol for chaos and separation. God's home is now directly with humanity. That's why I'm here. Directly with humanity. I've been made human through the Spirit of God. He has made me in the exact image of Himself. Like I said, He's working from the top, I'm working from the bottom, and we're getting it done. And that's the way it goes. And it says here, He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, no mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. See, that's a beautiful thing. Now, that is what I can't wait for. I'm just really excited about this whole thing now, because I've not read these scriptures in many years. It's been a while since I've read them. I forgot about them, really. But when I was thinking about all the things that I've been going through, all the things that's been happening, and with these fools I've been battling and all this stuff, I said, let me see how close I am to this. Well, this lets me know, wow, man, we're close, we're right there, we're in the middle of it. Okay, so the New Jerusalem, verses 9 through 21. An angel shows John the holy city descending from heaven. It shines with the glory of precious jewels, jasper, gold, clear as glass. Foundations of sapphire, emeralds, and and features 12 gates made of single pearls. No temple needed. Now, this is verses 22 through 27. It says this: the city doesn't have a physical name, building, because God and the Lamb are its temple. It does. It doesn't need the sun or moon because God's glory illuminates it constantly. The gates never close, and nothing impure will ever enter it again. That's why I'm here, my friends, and that's a beautiful thing. This is a dream come true for me. I've awaited this, this prophecy to come true for a long time before I even incarnated into this world to come here to make this happen. Man, it's been millennia upon millennia, even eons, okay, of time has gone by, and this is now coming true, and so that's going to be a benefit to you. Those who love me the way I love them, you don't have to worry about nothing because I am love. I am all about love, and love is going to be the guiding force of all that we do. Everything's got to come from the heart, and I got a big heart and I got big love, and I can't wait to get this party started. Now, 22, it ends in 22, but 22 says pretty much the same thing, and it translates into final instructions for the reader, and ends with a personal promise from Jesus that these things are true and will be in our lifetime. And when I say our lifetime, I'm not talking. I keep saying this. I'm talking about this year. I mean, 27. Man, I don't think we should not see any. I don't see any evil. I don't divine timing. I trust in it with all my soul. I don't push nothing. I don't try to manifest things that is not time for it to happen. However, the time is for it to be, is for it to be, and that's the way I look at it. And so I don't I don't get into any of that. So that's all I want to say, guys. I just wanted to sit here and just reminisce about, remember the times that before I was incarnated, man, how beautiful it would be, man, to bring paradise back to earth, because it was a paradise in Atlantis at one time, and Lemuria. They lost all that, because of the greediness, because of the things that people were harboring for themselves, man, to keep to themselves hidden. No more of that. Everything's going to be transparent. If I know it, you go it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to live forever, you're going to live forever. Look at me. I'm aging backwards. Okay? I'm a testament. I'm the catalyst to let you know that what I'm doing and what is done with me can and will be done with you. Okay? That's why I'm G1 the Catalyst. I want you to see that. I want you to be abundantly clear that the eternal dance has to do with living forever in a paradisic type of earth. I'm bringing that about. And that's what I want to say. And I'm going to say goodbye because I don't have nothing else to say. And I'm happy to be able to deliver this message to you. And I hope this brings peace to your heart and your soul. There won't be long now before we'll all be constructing a new heavens and a new earth. Thank you.